Hello out there in comic book land. It is time that I try and get caught up on some of my review videos. And the main one I want to do right now is a review of The Scribbler by Dan Schafer. This is, it says here, the feature film from New Artists Alliance, the graphic novel by Dan Schafer. This book is written and drawn by the genius Dan Schafer. I haven't read anything of his that I haven't enjoyed the hell out of yet. And this book deals with identity, fitting in, what is normal, what is considered normal, psychology, which I think is kind of a trend in his stuff a lot lately. I don't know. So basically, what this is a story about a woman named Suki who has, what is it? I forget the new term now. Personality, I don't know. Multiple personalities. I forget right now exactly what the new term for it is. But she has quite a few different personalities, and she is going through treatment for them. Her two main personalities are Suki, which is spelled differently than Suki from the Suki Stackhouse books by Charlene Harris, but this is S-U-K-I, so I'm assuming that's Suki. And the Scribbler. The Scribbler never talks. She always just writes stuff on the walls, and it's all written backwards, sort of like a writing Zatanna. Everything's backwards. And she's under the care of her psychiatrist, and she's put in a building called the Juniper Towers, where everyone in there is under some form of care. And when she first arrives, there's somebody who lands on the ground. I mean, the day she arrives, there's a jumper. And that building, you find out later, has become nicknamed the Jumping Towers instead of the Juniper Towers. And you get to meet a couple of the different assortment of tenants in that building. And one of them is a lady who is very antagonistic towards Suki and pushes her down the stairs. And you find this lady is associated with a friend of Suki's, a guy who is hooking up with one of Suki's other personalities, which is really kind of weird, who really enjoys the pleasures of the flesh, so we say. Now, Suki, one of her things they're doing to help her get rid of her mini personalities is a machine that she's supposed to be on for like 2 or 3 hours a day. And it's supposed to burn out some of these personalities. But the weird thing is, when she gets on it, she's like losing time, like days. And while she's losing some of the personalities, it turns out that the Scribbler is one of the more dominant ones, and they suspect that the Scribbler is fighting back. And we're not sure which one is the dominant personality, even though the story is told solely from Suki's point of view. And they ask, there's a little bit where she's talking to her psychiatrist and saying, you know, or he's dictating something, and he says, he questions what is normal about society's view of normal. Could it be different? And what happens if your dominant personality is psychotic, sort of like what they suspect the Scribbler was. And there also deals with the psychosis of some of the other people. I think that Dan Schafer has a history somehow in psychology, because a lot of his stuff involves that. But I'm glad that he is writing these stories, because they are just fantastic. And this was written, not written, but drawn by him. And as you can see, the art in here is just incredible. And this, right here is the pusher lady. But his art is, that's her and her psychiatrist. The art in here is amazing. The story is typically top-notch. It's not quite as good as Malefic, but it's up there. And I highly recommend this book. Pick it up. It's only like $20, and it's well worth the money. It makes it doesn't really answer any of the questions in there. It poses them, lets you make your decisions on everything, and it has a wonderfully paced and incredible finale, and I'm so glad that I got this. I'm going to give this a 4.75 out of 5, and just hope against hope that there's more stuff of his coming out. All right, let me know if you bought the book, if you've read it, and what you think, and talk to you later. Bye.